Okay guys, let's take a trip through the ice caves. Now the ice caves, the first thing you'll need to know about this area is that the environment is changing. Look how it's so slippery here on these ice surfaces here. You have to be very careful and wary that your footwork isn't going to be very sturdy, and you need to adjust to that because you can slip and fall to your death. So many bad things can happen. You always are going to be looking down for the exit in the ice caves, especially if you do not have a compass, which is the most important item to have in this area besides the cape or the jetpack, obviously. Sometimes you just have no choice. If you can't find the exit and you go to one side, you're screwed usually unless you have ropes. In this case I had a few ropes, so I was able to find my way over to the exit over here. Always be on the lookout for crates. Always go for crates. Always. You never know what's going to be in it. Teleporter, I don't use these things, but maybe one day. Alright, let's talk about something that you're going to see quite a lot of in the ice caves. These proximity mines, landmine things, you can set them up as traps to take out some of the more difficult enemies, such as the Yeti King, which if you kill him you'll get a compass and spike shoes. So whenever you get the words at the beginning of a level that says, I smell wet fur in here, always try to kill him. If you want a compass or you need a compass or spike boots, it's usually worth the effort. In my opinion, I believe that the ice caves, it's the easiest area in the game, in my opinion. As long as you're careful and you stay generally in the middle of the level and you cautiously look down every time, you can generally find the exit with no problem. But there are some occasions where if you don't have a compass and you don't have any ropes, you could literally screw yourself and you could never find the exit, or get stuck where you just can't move and there's nothing left to do but to die. That's why it's important to get items early on when you go for a run. Now these little falling platforms, there's something I like to say about these things. If you're ever climbing a wall and you see one and you touch it and it's above your head, you're gonna die because it crushes you, just like those stone traps do in the temple, which I'll get to later. Yeah, it'll crush you and there's nothing you can do about it. So get on top of them and you can ride them down like an elevator. Make sure to jump off of it when you get close to the end. Now let's talk about some of the enemies that you're going to face in here. The Yetis, they won't really hurt you unless you get too close to them. They'll punch you and you'll go flying across the screen, but they will not attack you if you're right in front of them. So just hit them on the head, shoot them, do whatever, but don't you ever try to whip them or get close to them, because the whip doesn't work against them, and they'll just punch you if you get too close, and then they'll chain kill you, punch you against walls and over, just like the boomerang guy, the Tiki Man in the Jungle will. So always just be careful of these guys. Jump on the head, best strategy. The next enemy are these flying UFOs you're going to see pretty much throughout the entire level. The thing about these UFOs that piss me off is you can avoid them pretty easily, and they'll also clear ways for you, so you won't, because their laser beam will destroy parts of the level if you don't want to use bombs. But the problem is, if they get above a shopkeeper, if there's a shopkeeper in the level and he shoots anywhere near the shopkeeper, he's going to blame you for it. Again, a mistake that wasn't really your fault. So if you ever are in a situation where you have a UFO hovering above the shopkeeper, get the hell out of there if you don't want to disturb the shopkeeper. Okay, I didn't cover any of the random events in my previous videos, but in this one I will, because the levels are so short in the ice caves. You can quickly jump down usually to the exits, and there's a lot of benefits to these random events. For example, if you get one that says, I sense a psychic presence in here, you'll have an opportunity possibly to get a jetpack. If you are able to come into the spaceship area and kill the alien, which is risky in itself, but if you're able to do it, you'll be able to get a jetpack, which obviously everyone wants a jetpack in this game, let's be honest. It makes the game so much more manageable. The other event you'll have an opportunity to go for is the I smell wet fur in here, which I mentioned earlier. The Yeti King will be in this area, and he's dangerous because he sends stalagmites at your. They'll fall and hit you in your head, and you'll die. But if it's really worth killing him because you get not only a compass, but you get the spike boots as well. Which, in my opinion, these two items are a must-have in any run. An item that you can always go for in the ice caves, but it's extremely dangerous and is not recommended, only for the masochistic. If you can get into the mothership and kill the queen, you will get an alien plasma cannon, which is absolutely devastating to anything it hits, but it's also very dangerous to use as well. Like I said, only if you are very, very brave and masochistic. Don't go for this if you're on an important run. This always appears at the, it feels like, 4th of July level. In the 4th level of the ice caves. Always. Now these walking mammoths that shoot ice at you, if you get frozen, as long as he doesn't touch you, an enemy doesn't touch you while you're frozen, you can come out of it with no damage taken. And if you can kill him, sometimes he drops a ice ray, but not all the time. I recommend using spike boots or a shotgun, hopefully, if you have it. Try not to whip these guys as a last resort, because obviously he'll run into you when you get frozen. Very easy to die. Also, when you destroy a UFO, sometimes, depending on how you destroy it, if you hop on it, sometimes the alien that was occupying it will abandon ship, and he could become a problem for you out of nowhere. You may not see him. He's small, and it really pisses you off when a tiny little alien knocks you into something or kills you. So always to kill these guys, make sure you kill them. Just because the UFO went down doesn't mean the threat is neutralized. Alright guys, that concludes the Ice Caves Developing Good Habits video. You're nearing the end of the game. The temple is the final level of the regular game. Of course, hell is a completely different story, which I will get to that later. I will do a hell run, bet on it. It's definitely recommended for you to unlock all of the shortcuts. Once you get good at each area, they'll become second nature to you. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video, the temple.